So today we're discussing the global competition. It's something that we're all a part of. The world has become more interconnected than it's ever been before. Speed and scale dominate each arena. It used to be a case of you competing with your village, your town, your city. You'd compete for resources, customers, or even partners. Imagine a small town where you had a few different butchers, a few carpenters, a few plumbers, a few builders, a few accountants, a few financial advisors, a few gardeners. And it was an economy whereby you, with your skill set, were the man to go to. It was the same with dating too. Your competition and hierarchy was generally limited to maybe your city or even maybe your country before international travel became such a big thing. But today, the playing field is global. It's fueled by technology, logistics, and even politics. Although it's easier to access opportunities than it ever was before, it's also harder to win because the pace is breakneck and the stakes are massive. Well, how did we get here? How did we go from competing with people within our town or city or even just country to competing with billions across the globe? The answer is speed, connectivity, and scale. Let's take the technological revolution first of all. Innovations in logistics, communication, and data sharing shrunk the world to benefit those at the top. Plant Platforms rather like Amazon can deliver you products, can't they? Think about it. You go online, you go to Amazon, you order something, and it's with you the next day, or even some cases same day. And when you order from anywhere else and it says 5 to 7 working days, you're in complete shock. You're spoiled. Amazon can even deliver products across continents overnight. Or maybe it's Zoom that connects people in real time and erases barriers of distance. Maybe it's the global integration, trade agreements and unions like the EU that have formed economic blocs, making it easier for businesses and individuals to access cross-border markets. It boosts competition, but also open doors for innovation and expansion. But if you think about you wanting to get the customers on your street, and maybe in the past you could do that because you were the closest and best offer. Now that same customer can go and find someone in Japan who's more cost effective than you and something that you can't compete with because you're a one man band and that is a massive global business. Maybe it's the pace of progress. Everything moves faster, doesn't it? News, trends, technologies, they all have speed involved. Businesses can scale globally within years, and even relationships are sped up by apps that let us connect instantly. Elon Musk can get things into space now, whereas before it was a slow, daunting task. This is why you get the rise of monopolies and hierarchies. As competition expands, hierarchies emerge. Those at the top, whether it's companies, creators, influencers, etc., monopolize attention, resources, markets. Monopolies are thriving now. There's big companies that you can never see going bust. Platforms like Facebook and Google dominate, don't they? The more people that use them, the more they gain in value. They can scale more. Amazon can offer such fast delivery at low prices because of its infrastructure that it's built up, and small competitors just can't keep up. The hierarchy of competition is huge now. Whether it's business, relationships, careers, the competition creates layers. At the top, a few dominate, and that's the same with any industry. Below that is layers of players who are struggling to break through using their own resources. There is opportunities though if you find niches. There's always new players in the market, and it's a case of how fast can you get to the top. Consider Netflix. It was small at one point, but now it's a huge streaming platform, a global powerhouse, crushes small players through its catalog, its data-driven personalization and global reach. Can you create a competitor without being eaten up alive? There are huge challenges of this global competition. Just as a side note, employers even they used to be able to just employ those from their city. Now people can move abroad pretty easily, pretty quickly. You can travel internationally very easily. And even if you can't travel, you've got Zoom now where you can connect. The overwhelming choice means that it's hard to stand out in a crowded marketplace. By the time you've done something, your pace has been too slow. The playing field is now uneven, and the big players dominate through scale and capital, and the rest of us fight for scraps. Dating's a great example of this. Look at where things are today. The average man doesn't even have a girlfriend or can't get a girlfriend. Apps like Tinder, Bumble, etc. connect people globally. But the top profiles often get the most attention. So it's very easy to be overlooked, and it's a very good way to understand what's going on with the economic situation in the same respect. Most people go straight to Amazon, they don't look at these smaller stores. Most people go to big supermarkets, they don't even look at the local guy. It's very difficult now to compete unless you're top of the pile. We have to, although that's the case and that's the reality, we have to look to thrive in this hyper competitive world. Otherwise, we're just going to get crushed. And it's going to get harder and harder and harder for us to realize our ideal and live effectively. There is a kind of roadmap, though, isn't there? Maybe we need to find our niche. When you've got a global marketplace, specificity is power. Stop trying to appeal to everyone. Target a specific audience or market. Example might be that local craft beers thrive by emphasizing local flavors, storytelling, and they can compete against your big boys. Maybe you need to leverage technology. Use the tools available that help global reach to amplify your own personal reach. Social media, e-commerce, etc. You need to prioritize speed and adaptability. You can't keep planning and waiting. You have to be able to pivot quickly, innovate, and have the competitive edge. You have to not only get to the top, but stay at the top. Play the long game. You have to build trust, credibility in yourself and what you give to the world. You might not see any results short term, but you will long term. And that ensures longevity in this fast moving world. It can take you years to build something worthwhile. Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. So focus on your value. It's less about competing on price, but making your offering unique, whether that's economically, socially, or even romantically. It it does take pressure though, doesn't it? This global competition brings with it huge pressures, performance anxiety, and let's face it, inadequacy and imposter syndrome. But you have to control what you can control. Control your inputs, your skills, your mindset, your effort. They're the variables that you can have an element of control on. Stay grounded. Disconnect yourself from the noise and what people are telling you to do. You need to sit and think and be with yourself to help you realize and focus on your own path. And then celebrate the small wins. You're not going to be the most high value male in the world or female overnight. It's going to take small daily wins, small wins on the battlefield to win the overall war and campaign. It might be just winning, going to the gym, winning your local competition, and then maybe you get into professional martial arts, boxing, MMA. Maybe it's just focusing on that sale so you become the top salesman. Maybe it's focusing a little bit more on your content so that one day you've got a whole host of great content there, even though not many people have viewed it previously. Maybe it's as a local entrepreneur, maybe you're small time butcher, baker, whatever. Maybe it's about realizing how you can reach your desired demographic and by being authentic with what you have instead of trying to shoehorn people to your service. The global competition is daunting, is here to stay. The barriers that used to be there are no longer there, which can be a disadvantage when you're at the bottom, but a huge advantage at the top. Big businesses, they set up their business in a way where they're paying minimal tax because they've got offices or head offices set up in certain countries, etc. You need to connect with people who value what you uniquely offer. And it's up to you to work out how to do that. Unless you can compete or try to climb the hierarchy in some respect, your life is going to get continually worse. You will be at the bottom end of earnings, the dating pool, the fitness side of things. And actually, when you do get to a certain level, you'll gain a network too. Your network will change. So you need to sit down and think, how can you thrive in today's global competition?